Hi, my name's Aunt and welcome to my channel, Queen of Hearts Art. So I post a number of videos, various art related videos. Pyrography, which is also known as wood burning, using a really hot wire to burn images into wood. Coloured pencil art, painting, but today I've been quite excited about this. I've got an unboxing video for Shuttle art coloured pencils. Now, this is a little treat to myself. I haven't spent anything on art products for a little while. I was looking on Amazon and I found these coloured pencils. They are supposed to be comparing really well with some of the premium brands, but these I got on offer. They were £33.29. They should have been £36.99. So I ordered them off Amazon, next day delivery with Prime. I've paid for them myself. This is not a paid promotional video, but I am quite excited to see what I've got in the box. So, first things first, I would say in ordering this from Amazon, I would have really hoped that they would have put this in a box. So this has come through, obviously I've scrubbed the details off here, but this has come through like this. It's just in its original box. It's got slight bashes to the corners from rather than being in a bigger box and cleared away nicely. I hope the things inside are okay, but I mean, it looks like it's mainly intact. So let's have a look at what's in here. Now, one of the reasons I bought this particular lot of pencils is because they're supposed to blend really well. There's a really good range of colours. And like I said, for this one, there's 174 colours. I had a little bit of a look at them on the Amazon site, but it wasn't very clear, so I'm quite excited to see what they actually look like in person. So other than the slight damage to the edge of the box that I've got, it looks like it's a really nice quality bit of packaging to this. And then we'll see, because I know this comes with a couple of extras as well. One of them I have more interest in than the other, I'm afraid, but it'll be good to test things out. Okay. So in here we have, I would say it's a ridiculous amount of sharpeners actually. I mean, I've got one and one's enough. But this comes with 4, it should be. They're all kind of wedged in there. 4's ridiculous. I don't know at what point you're going to go through 4 pencil sharpeners, but I mean, at least you've got spares, so I'll add them to my spares, but if we need to, we'll give them a try. I'll leave one out. The other thing it comes with, which is quite interesting, is pencil extenders. I was thinking, why would you need that? But if you're sharpening and trying to keep a really fine point on your pencils, you'll get to a point where you've got quite a short pencil, so this will come into its own. So these are really cool. A nice little addition. I'll keep them to the side for later. Now, the thing I didn't get it for, but it came with it anyway, is a colouring book. I mean, it might be nice to test a couple of the pencils with this colouring book in a little while, but I didn't get it for the colouring book. We'll have a quick peek at that. Okay, so there's some nice basic designs, and that's quite good. At the front of this book, we've got a page where we can test some of the colours out. Good, because I want to see how they blend together. I want to see how they layer. So if you've seen any of the other videos on my channel, I've got a couple of videos on there, like one with a shark and one with a swan. And these take a little bit of time. There's a little bit of layering going on. I start with it quite light. I mean, I'll get it darker and darker until I'm happy with what I've got with the coverage. Okay, so there's a few little things. I mean, that's quite basic. I'll ignore the things at the back of here. Well, there's a couple of nice little mandalas. if I get bored. But colour testing pages at the front, great. I'll see how they go together, and I'll see how they blend and how you can mix the colours. Move that to the side. So the next thing we've got is a nice little sketch pad. Now this is handy. I have lots, but I use lots, and it's just sometimes nice to test out what you've got. So let's have a little look, see what the paper quality is like. I didn't think my light was bright enough. So it's relatively thin paper, I would say, but it looks like it's got a nice texture to it. I think that'll pick up the pencil well. But I think if you're pressing with any, I mean, yeah, I might use it firm, but I wouldn't use it too hard on the page, otherwise it'll go through and it'll make a hole. But I mean, that's nice enough. That comes with it. Now for the bit that I've been waiting for, I'm really excited about. The pencils themselves. Now it doesn't mention what sort of pencils they are. Oil or wax, so we'll see when we get in there. So this comes in a nice little metal tin. It looks like it's okay. It doesn't look like it's been damaged from the journey in. But I do think Amazon, you're taking risks if you don't put it in a box at all. Not only is it a fact that if I was to get this as a gift for someone, they're going to know exactly what they've got. But you run the risk of it being damaged as it's being thrown around. Okay. Oh, so this looks really nice. And I can see right in the front we have a colour chart so we can test them. And it looks like all of the colours are numbered. And so we can have a at a glance test at what they look like on white paper. I do some things on white paper, I do some things on dark paper. So let's have a look at this first tray. Grab any pencil of choice, this one will do. Or anyone. Well, they're definitely a little bit of a sharpen. They're quite sort of square on the tips as it was. And they're quite a smooth pencil. This one I've picked up here is number 27, salmon pink. So if we find it on the chart, we'll have a little look and see what this looks like. Why is it not in order? What a weird way of doing this. So they've numbered them, but instead of numbering them consecutively, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the numbers are all over the place, so you'll probably see it quicker than I can. I'm trying to find salmon pink. I can't see for looking. Dear Lord, where is it? Let's move these scissors out of the way. What on earth? How can it be so hard to find this? Other pinks are here. I mean, are they keeping the pinks together? Ah, found it. So we'll have a little go with this and see what it looks like. In fact, I'm going to turn up the light a little bit so that we can... Nope, that's as much as the light goes. So number 27, if I start with some nice light shading, we'll see what the very light version of number 27 looks like. Now with this light, it's really difficult to see. And I would say that sometimes it's only when I turn that light off can you see it a lot clearer as to what the colour's like. So it's a very basic colour. I mean, the coverage looks okay. And I'm just going to make it a little bit deeper to this side, and a bit darker, so we'll see what the colour looks like in the strongest form. Try and colour between the lines, especially as you're listening to me and watching. And just for a second, I'm going to turn the light off and see if it's any clearer. Not really. Great, the light won't go back on now. Better. I mean, yes, it is kind of salmon pink. It looks okay, but as you can see, there's lots of colours here. and they're going to be really difficult to find. So Shuttle Art, try perhaps organising your things in number order, because you don't really want to be hunting around everywhere trying to find them. Now, whilst we're here, let's have a look at these pencils. There's a nice range of greens. I'm liking this. And these pencils feel a really, really good quality. This is one of the things that drew me into looking at these, because they seemed like they were really well rated. And, you know, people are saying they feel like a nice quality pencil. So this is Lawn Green. I was going to say, it'd be interesting to know where it is, but it's right here. It's quite easy to find. Now, what I want to do is to test the sharpener as well, and see how sharp a point we can get on this, and to see if you get a sharp point, if it breaks, because that's one of the things I look out for in the pencil art when I'm doing it. The sharpness seems quite good. Let's see if we can get it to a nice fine point. So it's got to a nice fine point. Let's see if that point breaks easily or not. So where are we? Lawn Green. We'll do the same. That is nice. Nice coverage. Nice colour. Picks it out really, really nicely. And I'm going to apply a bit more pressure and see if we keep that tip or if it breaks. And do you know what? That's holding it really, really well. That's very nice. Wow. That's looking good. And I could get even darker on this side as well. Let's give it a little bit more pressure, see what we can get it up to. So that's really good. This means that the pencils are going to last a reasonable amount of time. As you can see, we've still got a bit of a point on there. There's no breakage. It's kept its point. It's providing nice, reasonable coverage here as well. So there's lots more to go, but there's a little example of a couple of the colours. So let's have a look at the colour range. I've got to have a look at some of these darker greens, because these look quite similar in colour. In fact, that one looks almost blue-green, so I might test these two as well, just while we're here. So here we have medium green, which should hopefully be on this page. There it is, right at the top. So medium green. There's no medium about it. I would say that looks pretty dark green to me. But this should give a really nice range if you're doing some sort of wooded forest background or grass or other things. Grass is one of my bugbears and a really hard thing to draw. And whenever I draw it, it feels like it's a drawing of a 5-year-old. But it's fun. It's a nice colour, but this looks so similar in colour. I want to see what this one is like. So if I put the medium green down, and we've now got the emerald green, which is right next to it. Let's see how different these colours are. So it is different. Although it looked visually quite similar, that's a lot darker. I don't know about emerald, but it's a lot darker. Nice. Let's give it a little bit more darkness on this side and we'll see what we come up with. So it's looking like a nice range of colours, although it's very weirdly laid out. And you know what, I might not keep these in the trays the way they are. I might just sort it out the way I want to sort it out. I might see what numerical order does and see if that corresponds nicely with what's there. There's some really nice colours here, albeit some of them don't really look like, you know, what you've got displayed on the end doesn't look like the same as on the tip. So we will play it by ear. Let's have a look at the next row then. So here we've got a nice range of purples and some peaches as well. I can already see, having a glance at this, I can make good use of the ones on this end. If any of you saw my drawing of swan, I mean, it looks like a white bird, doesn't it? But it's not. If I could tell you, if on the head alone of that swan, you're looking at about 20 colours that I used for that. and different, levels of shading. A light base layer, there's greys, there was browns and peaches and yellows and whites and all sorts, just trying to capture the light. Because half of the fun with this, and when you're doing drawings, is capturing the difference between light and dark. Light and shadow. And if you look at any picture, anything, like for example, I've got this little vase that's like a human heart on here. If I'm looking at this, and with the light the way that it is, I can see that we're getting into browns and things here. There's reds when I'm looking at how the light is coming off there. I can see pinks, I can see yellows. If you look at any object, anything you want to draw, and you'll notice it's not the one colour that you see. So what I would say is if you're looking at getting some pencils and doing this sort of thing yourself, this is 34 quid. It's not too bad a price to be spending on this. Do you know what, as I've looked at this, I can see I've got the tip of a pencil sitting here. It doesn't correspond to either of those trays, the top one or the other one. I don't know where this come from, but it's a little metallic sort of silver lead that is just loose in the box. So I'll see if we've got some broken ones as we go through. We might well do. But, I love purple. And this looks like a really, really vivid purple. So this is Shuttle Art Pencil number 57, Violet. Wow, that's fine, 57 on this map. Well, good luck to me. Oh no, it's there. It is there. Let's see. In fact, I'm going to sharpen this as well. Let's do this properly. They've all come with quite, I don't know if you can see it on here, quite blunt ends. They all need a good sharpen. But, that's no problem. You get things the way you want them, don't you? Okay, interesting. The first thing that's done is broke the lead. Straight off. So when this is sharpened, I'm going to give this a little wiggle and see if it's just one broken lead because of my sharpening skills, or if we've got a problem with the batch. Let's have a look. No, it looks good. So let's give that number 57 a go. This is a very nice colour, but not quite what I was expecting it to be. So we'll see if I get it a bit darker, if it stays how I would expect it, or if it's something different. I think yourselves, if you're getting a box of pencils, if you want to find this stuff out yourself, you don't have to have a colour chart that comes with it. You can just get a bit of paper and just test and see what your pencils do. Let's have a look. Even darker on this end. We'll see the full range of what this pencil can do. That's very pretty, but not quite what I was expecting. But it's nice. And we can see there's a really good range of colours in here. But let me show you this. Look, you can see the difference between the sharpened and non-sharpened pencils. These are quite a narrow triangle that these sharpeners do. But they get it to a nice enough point. We'll see how they go as time goes on. Again, nice, but flipping weird numbering system. Now let's get the next tray. Ooh, some lovely blues. Look at these. In fact, straight up, this one looks like it'd be really nice for, like, if you're drawing kingfishers or similar. So we should be on this tray now. Cyan blue, number 88. There it is. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing again. But just out of interest, I'm going to use one of the sharpeners I normally use, rather than the one that's come with it, and see if that's a lot different. And it is. So as for the sharpeners, you think one sharpener is a lot like another one. But let's go back to one of those trays that I just had a second ago and sharpened one. Here we go. Look at the difference with how the sharpeners go. The one I've just used, one of the normal ones I would use, which I probably will continue to use, is giving it a much longer tip, so I'll make it a lot easier for shading. This has brought it down into a really narrow little point, so I'll make it harder to do some of the shading. I'll show you what I mean in a second. So let's find the cyan blue thing again. Where is it? There it is. So when I'm shading things in, you know, you might have seen, although it'll be very quick when you're looking at the time lapses of the drawings that I'm doing, but you might have seen me holding the pencil a bit further down like this. So when I'm doing this, I'm applying pressure to almost the side of the pencil here. Along here, I'll show you, because it gives you a nice even way of colouring, if you can see that. So I'm not using the tip, I'm just using the side of it. It gives a really nice even shading, and it's nice to do a bit like that to begin with, or if you're picking out shapes and colours, rather than having this down like this and doing little, you know, pointed straight down versions of this, because that gives you I mean, it's good for detail work. If I needed to do, you know, for imagine if that was hair or something, I might be using that like this. Oh, that would, this is a really nice point this gives, and it's keeping that really nicely. But if I was shading like this, I'd want it like this. So you get 4 of them, but I'm not sure I want any of them. I'm stick to the one I have already, thanks. But still, it's a budget selection of stuff, and it's good. This would make a really nice addition to a kingfisher, like I mentioned earlier. So let's get this darker on this end, and we'll see how the cyan blue is picking out. Nice. Look at that. Very pretty. And we've got a nice range on this particular tray, going from greens through turquoises, the bluey greens. It's really nice. So think of your underwater scenes, or, you know, something like a peacock feather. You might be using a few ones from this tray, perhaps a few from other trays. Let's go to the next tray and see what we've got. There's so many pencils here. I was wondering if they'd all be quite similar colours. And there are perhaps a few similarities. So here we have a few more blues on this tray, a few more greens on this tray, and we're getting into a couple of yellows. Now, pale yellow. In all honesty, I use pale yellow a lot. If you saw that swan video, I've put white and pale yellow because it just gives a little bit of warmth to it. So let's have a little look and see what we've got going on here. There's too many pencils here. There's no way I'm going to sit here and show you what every single pencil does. But I might come back and revisit in a future video when I've got these all coloured in and I can see how this is. And I'll show you what it looks like. So let's have a little look. Let's find that pale yellow. There it is, number 158. Again, I'm just going to use that side of the pencil to get some shading done. Now, yellow is notoriously hard to see on camera. I can see it with my eye here. You may or may not be able to see anything at all, but I can tell you that there is a good layer of that really pale yellow. It's one of my pencils I definitely use a lot. So again, I'm using a bit more pressure now. There's a tiny little bit of breakage to the tip, but I mean, it made a very fine point in this, so I'm not surprised really. But it is holding up really well, so this means you're not going to go through pencils at a tremendous rate. For example, I mean, this is not the video for this, but I bought some budget oil pencils from Amazon. There's about 6 in a pack. These, I was using them for the shark video and the swan video, but I was having to sharpen them almost constantly. They're going down almost immediately. So I would say for a budget set of pencils, these are pretty good value and pretty good quality so far. So let's have a look at the next layer. There's so many layers and so many pencils. There's another layer under this. My goodness. Now I have to say that layer underneath this, just from glancing in the box, looks like it's all out of order. It's been bashed around. It looks like there's bits missing, things all in the wrong order, and perhaps broken. But we'll come to that one in a second, and I think that's probably where that silver tip had come from. So we've got some nice pinks. Now, is this white? It is white indeed. Now, lots of people say, oh, white. People don't use white pencils. Artists don't use white pencils, or they don't use black pencils. Yes, I'll use black. Yes, I'll use white. I mean, if I'm putting in shadow and detail, I might use a dark brown, but I might use a black. I don't believe in all that. I never use this, I've never used that. So, but white, conversely, I use a lot. This is one of my top pencils. Now, one of my questions would be, I wonder if you can buy these pencils individually or not. So I'll have to go back to Amazon and find out. And if I find out, I'll see if I can put it in the comments. But white is a colour that a shade even, that I use a lot. It's really good on black paper for sketching, or for doing a light first layer. And then you can use that light first layer to build up with other colours. If you've seen my drawing of Dracula's brides, that they were done with like a white, very basic shading just to get the shapes, and then it was layering up with various different colours. And weirdly enough, that picture took a long, long time. That was 8 or 9 hours to complete that. And it's only A4, so it just goes to show that sometimes things take time. Right, I'm just sharpening a random pencil on here, and we are going for pale blue. So we'll have a little look and see what pale blue looks like on here. Again, just using the side of the pencil. Now this is actually, before I do that, it has got an incredible point that's just gone down to. So I just want to test and see what this point is like. Wow. Because I got it down to a very, very fine point, and it has broken a little bit. But it's really, really good. Wow. That holds a really fine point. So these pencils are really good quality for the money. And to stress that again, I have not been paid. This is not a promotion. This is just seeing something on Amazon and thinking, you know what, I'll get some, I'll have a little go, see what it's like, and give an honest review, because I don't know about what you guys think, but sometimes I suspect that some of the reviews are paid for, and then people are almost, they have a biased version of what's happening. And give perhaps reviews that aren't really genuine. But so far, I mean, I would use these myself. I would gift these to someone else for art. They seem really good. Like I say, it comes in a nice tin as well to keep them all together. Now this bottom row, yes, it's been bashed and bashed. It's the one with the greys, and there's some metallic ones in here actually. There's a silver. That's broken. A light grey is broken. In fact, a lot of the greys are broken. This makes me a little bit sad because I use the range of greys quite a lot. And yes, you can get the same thing by layering lighter colours and white and go through the range like that. But I mean, it's unfortunate, but it looks like this has had a bit of a knock and damage on the way in. Now I'm going to find out if that is just this little layer here. I mean, you can see there's broken tips all in the tin, look. Several of them just sitting in there. I'll find out if this is just the damage to this from where it's hit the edge in the tin, or if it's been dropped and we've got damage all the way through. Let's sharpen these and find out. I'll sharpen it and I'll wiggle it like a wiggly tooth, and we'll find out if it is broken all the way through. The music player's got on to Lord of the Rings just to be super dramatic for this moment. Let's find out. Oh, now this is unfortunate. This is breaking straight away. Again, hopefully it's just because it's had a little bash at the front. It's not looking good so far. What would Frodo say? See, that is sad. I'm afraid I'm knocking off a star for this. It might not be their fault, but I mean, something with the packaging's not right. It might be just because it's been left in Amazon without an outer box and been bashed around. But I've just had to sharpen this quite a way to get anything, and like I said, this is one of the ones I'd be using a lot. This is very disappointing. Right, that's sort of keeping a point now. But as you can see, I've had to take off quite a lot of pencil to get there. There's bits of pencil everywhere. It's really unfortunate because I think it's probably just taken a hit to the bottom of the tin, and this is what's going on. But let's have a little look. When I was doing my sharks, I use light grey and dark grey a lot. I have a feeling that's got several breaks in. You see how far I've had to take the pencil down to find where it's not broken. Not good. And again, we've got a metallic silver here. I'm going to have a look and see the same and see if it's just that whole bottom tray or if we've got a bit more of an issue. Because this is the first tray as well when we were getting into metallics, so the metallics might be a slightly different material. There might be other reasons why it's broken. Bits of shaving, wood shavings everywhere. So, metallic silver, where are we? 70. Yeah. Let's have a look. Let's see if, firstly, if it is metallic. Looks like grey to me. And to see if the lead's okay. Oh, to be fair, this seems okay. Perhaps it's just one pencil that's been really affected. Now let's have a look and see if this is metallic, because I can't say that for any particular reason at a glance that looks particularly metallic. Try and get it with the light. Hey. I mean, kinda. I suspect if you use this on darker paper or card or black paper maybe. In fact, I've got some black paper over here. I can have a little look. It might show up as a bit more kind of silvery, but I mean, on white paper, you'd be hard pressed to see. Let's find black paper. Where is that? Right, this will do. Let's see if it is metallic, because I'd like to tell you if you want to see. So here's metallic silver on black paper. Let's see what we've got. Well, kind of. Maybe not so much. But it is a good example to see if some of the other colours come up on black paper. Let's start with one of my favourites, so white. Let's go white. Because like I said, this is how I'd sketch things out. And we'll have a look and we'll see. Okay, well that's answered my question that I had earlier, whether or not they are oil-based or more sort of wax-based. I would say these are more of a waxy pencil. I don't know if you can see it on this light, but it's quite shiny, what it's leaving on here. In fact, it's pretty much as shiny as the metallic one. But let's have a look with another colour over the top. So like I said, I sometimes use white as a base, and we'll see what that comes out like. How they blend together. So they actually do blend together quite nicely. Let's find another. Yeah, that looks all right. I mean, they're certainly not as deep as the oil pencils that I would normally use. But overall, that seems like that's working quite well. In fact, I've got another black paper that is a bit better quality than this one. Ouch, that was my knee. Huh, I drew a little Pokemon, do you like it? But anyway, this is oil pencil. Next to this, let's see what the white looks like. Actually, that's really, really good. So, I would say with the other one, it's more of a paper quality thing than a pencil quality thing. So I'm going to keep them to a good rating. Let's have a little look at it. Oh, they blend together real good. As you can see, we're getting something very similar to this here. And again, I'm going to turn the light off because sometimes it's easy to see these without the light. Or a low light. Let's put it on a low light. And the reason being, it sort of gets a shine off the paper sometimes. Anyway, that's pretty good. I reckon I can do some nice art with these. Let's bring the light up again. So, look, there's this one I did before. And the little shark, that was really quick. So I'll do that again and explain what I did because it might help you guys. So, let's lay them out then. So these are them in their posh little tin. We'll have a look at what you get with it. I'm trying to show you, but there's so many. It's really, really difficult to see, but let's try and get it as we can. Positives. Like I say, they seem like really quality pencils. They've got a good feel in your hand. They're a nice range of colours. There's lots of them. I'm just having a little look, so I'm not sure. Oh, there we are. I wasn't sure there's a black one, but there is. It's there. You get these additional things. Like I said, there's a sketch pad. I mean, it's nice to have. I mean, it's perhaps not the best quality sketching paper, but it's a sketch pad that you get with it. You have that colouring book that you get with it. You know what? I haven't even done anything with this. Let's do something just random with the colouring, but just to see what that's like on here. Nice. If I want to spend some time doing some colouring later on, it'll be okay to do on here. It's nice. Or get relatives of the children to have a go at colouring. They can knock themselves out. You know, it's good. It's nice that it comes with something like that so you can test it out. Then, of course, you've got this colour chart. Now, this will be really useful at a glance or when complete. These are all good things. Numbering, what the hell? Here's number 1. Here is... Who even knows where number 2 is? Because why on earth would you lay it out like this? I don't understand. So I will probably do 1, 2, 3, 4 and just see where we end up with things. And I'd like to find out if you can get these separately. That'll be my next thing, because you're going to have one colour that you might use a lot more than another colour. Like I said, I'm going to use white. There's going to be a lot of use of white. That's weird. I'm probably going to knock a point off for the weird numbering. As for the damage that's happened in the tin, I don't think it's fair to knock a point off for the company that's made them, but I might knock a point off for Amazon. Seriously. I mean, we've gone from one extreme to the other, where they used to put items in boxes with half a tree of extra paper surrounding them, and now we've got to the point where they're just sending a box on its own. You know, this could have been... It's damaged, but I mean, this could have been really damaged. These... they're not great. You get 4 of them, but what's the point? I mean, I'm probably not going to be using them. But I mean, they do work. They're functional. That'll be absolutely fine. I mean, if you had nothing else, it'd be good. But I mean, if you've got other pencil sharpeners, I think that'd work a lot better. Let's put those back in the tin for a minute. As for Amazon's lovely delivery here, like I said, I'd probably end up knocking a point off from the Amazon page for that, because, you know, I feel like they've allowed it to get damaged where it needn't. But the colour range is really good. And it's a surprising amount of little metallics you've got in here as well. I'll have fun testing those all out. This is quite exciting, and I had to wait a long time to have the chance to open this box and do this unboxing video. And now you all know what I sound like, and I hope I'm not too annoying for you. But let me know in the comments if I'm annoying. Tell me and I'll shut up like the rest of my videos, and I could be non-talking again. But it's up to you. This will make a nice gift for someone. But yeah, so that is my review of Shuttle art. Now, if you want to see more videos, I'm happy to talk through how I do some of the pictures that I do. They sometimes take a long time, so I might do time lapses like I would normally do, but I might do a voiceover instead, explain what I'm doing and show you. Later on, if I get to a point where I get past 500 followers or whatever it is that you need, I can consider doing some live ones. So I would do that. I'm quite happy to do that, but you can't do that until you're over 500. So help me get to over 500 and help me get some more subscribers. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, like and subscribe. If you haven't, then don't worry about it. Send it to someone else that you think might like it. So there we are. Shuttle arts, I would say waxy pencils, 174 colours. The quality, and they seem to keep a point really well. I think they're going to be quite good little pencils to get stuff done. And a bargain. So, thank you. Actually, before we go, do you want to see my desk? I'll show you, in case you wondered what it looks like. So this is what I get to see all the time. Small severed hand and some brushes. It looks terrible in this light. There's the clock I use quite a lot for just showing how long time lapses take. And some random stuff. I've got pencil shavings everywhere now. And I'll show you up on the wall. This is a painting that my nan did, bless her. She's passed away now, so I get to see this all the time, every time I sit here. So thank you for joining me, and see you for the next video.